Yeah, so good morning and welcome back to another day on the channel. Today, hopefully, I will be doing a bit of work on the engine. Well, should be taking the cylinder head off today. So yeah, there's lots of little bits and pieces on that. Well, as I'm pulling it out, I'll go through the bits that are in this one, and yeah, we'll do a little bit of rundown on what's on the top end of the engine. And if in doubt, use the workshop crane for your video footage. Oh well. Yeah, so before I wanted to go too far and deep dive in, I wanted to just make sure everything was timed up okay. Yeah, I lined that up right, so you can see one timing mark up there, and then you've got the two arrows, 3, 2, straight up on there. So this engine's just timed up, just to making sure everything's all still where it should be, nothing's moved, nothing's jumped. And yeah, it looks all pretty good. So next thing is I will crack the cams out, and we'll have a look at the cams next. So yeah, cams are out. So if people want to know why it took so long taking the cam carriers out, I've always been warned that they are a little bit fragile, so I tend to try and take them out on the reverse of the tightening sequence and just leave as little stress as possible. So that's the main reason why it took quite a while for me to pull them out. But yeah, the cams look not too bad. I'll just get a bit of cloth and we'll just dry off. So yeah, the cams that we actually use in this engine are, as you can see, 18 GEX. So this is the K6 standard exhaust cam. There's no reprofiling been done on that one, and the intake is a 18G intake. So again, standard K6, but no reprofiling done on that. The cams themselves in this engine are completely standard. So but yeah, everything looks pretty good. So the next phase for me will be to start undoing the head bolts, and we'll try and lift the head off and see what it looks like on the underside. Yeah, so that was a bit of a mission, but yeah, same as the cams, I take them out, all the head bolts out in reverse of the tightening order. So head came off. Muggins forgot one pipe that was still attached to the head, which is why it didn't come off quite so easy as it should have done. But Wally forgot about it. But yeah, everything looks pretty good. So yeah, we'll go through the head, and we'll turn it over and see what the rest of it looks like. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Yeah, I mean, it's not done much work. This head gasket was only put on 2 meetings ago, so it was a brand new head gasket. So and there's no wear or signs to that, which is always good. So yeah, it'll be we'll crack on with the rest of it shortly. But as you can see, top of the pistons, you rotate them, we'll go that way. Top of the pistons, doesn't appear to be any marks on them, which is good. And hopefully I'll nip out to the garage shortly and I'll go and grab a standard set of GSXR pistons, and you should be able to see the difference between a GSXS and a GSXR, because this is still using the GSXS bottom end rods and pistons, but just with the GSXR cylinder head on it. So okay, and yeah, so that'll be this is the first bit. My next video most likely will be involving the middle and bottom end of it, so I'll be taking the sump off. But yeah, we've got a good amount achieved so far. Cylinder head off, and yeah, I'll just quickly go and show you the difference between the piston crowns, and then once we get further into the engine, I'll show you the rest of the difference with the rods between the S and the R. And as if by magic, one appears. So as you can probably just about make out the difference between the two, the S has much lower of a dish in it than the R. The R has got much sharper edges on it, but yeah, the S seems to be a bit more rounded. I mean, one of the main reasons why we stuck with the S pistons was actually we made more power than we did with a standard set of R pistons. I think the best we got with the R pistons was about 165, and we had 179 out of this. So yeah, there's a little bit of a difference, but yeah, we'll go further into it. I mean, we will be putting GSXR pistons into the GSXS block, but we'll be putting high compression pistons in. So so yeah, that'll be for a future video. But for the next bit, I will just quickly flip the engine over onto its front, and I'll undo the sump pan so I can get access to have a look at all the gearbox and oil pickup systems. So that'll be the next little bit, and then the next video should be splitting the engine. So yeah, we'll carry on and yeah, go from there. So yeah, now we've got the sump off, the engine's been turned over. I mean, you can't really see a lot from here, but yeah, sump came off nice and easy enough. So I just got to pull the baffle plate out in the pickup. Everything looks pretty good, the pickup's pretty clean, so that's a good sign. This is the Northmore sump that we've got, which is, yeah, pretty shallow. It's quite a bit shallower than the Extreme Engines one, and it has its own special oil pressure relief valve kit. This one we have in it is a drag bike one, so it's a high pressure one, so it pushes the oil pressure up to about 110 at about 6,000 RPM. So seems to do the job. The engines have been relatively reliable. So yeah, and that's a little bit of the engine. So for the next video, I will be taking the baffle plate out. I should be taking the clutch kit out, and we should be getting to the point where we'll be able to take the gearbox out and have a look at the bottom of the pistons at the rods. So yeah, so I'm going to wrap that video up now. So thanks for those who are watching. I'm not a professional engine builder, so for anybody who wants to have a dig, please remember, I don't do this professionally. This is just our bit of a hobby, and yeah, I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. So thank you very much for watching.